What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost. I'm here for AEW on TNT Review. This, of course, was December 11, 2019 episode where we had a Texas street fight as your main event. Luchasaurus taking on Sammy Guevara. You had Jon Moxley in the opening match. MJF showing you why he is the best heel at 23 years old. And so much more. Of course, Butcher and the Blade versus Cody and QT Marshall was also on this show. This was an entertaining episode of AEW. NXT, I did just skim through the results and everything. I haven't watched it yet. And honestly, I think this was probably the better show as it has been usually. But the show started off with Moxley coming down to the ring. Jon Moxley coming down from the stairs, and they have these little tagline things above, an interesting fact about the superstars. Well, Jon Moxley said he had the fastest win in AEW history by beating Michael Nakazawa in 1 minute and 9 seconds. I want you to keep a hold of that one before this match starts. So, Jon Moxley goes up against, Alex Reynolds. If you blinked, you missed it. Running the Death Rider 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say maybe 10 seconds because he did take a little bit of time between hitting Alex Reynolds with the knee and hitting the Death Rider DDT for the 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna say it definitely beat Michael Nakazawa. Him beating Michael Nakazawa. So Jon Moxley holds what will probably be the fastest time in AEW history unless somebody does a quick roll up. Post match, Don Stower tries to sneak attack him and eats a Death Rider as well. Out comes Chris Jericho after about 2 minutes or so. Jon Moxley hammering it up to the crowd, being just playing up to the crowd. He strolls out with the rest of the InnerCircle as they circle the ring. Each member of the InnerCircle stop. Ortiz stops in where they come from. They go around, and then Sammy Guevara stops, and then Santana stops, and then Jake Hager stops. All four of them just sitting there outside the ring as Jericho comes in. He says he's just here to talk. He recalls a long history and talks about how Moxley coming to him with his leather jacket and bowl cut hair. Says they became enemies. Moxley became a star. Says he navigated Moxley to AEW, and Jericho didn't forget Moxley taking him out at Double or Nothing, but that's okay. Basically, what Jericho wants to do is have Jon Moxley join the InnerCircle. Says if the InnerCircle Moxley join forces, he asks Moxley to join the group and brings out an InnerCircle t-shirt. The crowd is not having this. They don't want this to happen at all. Jericho says he wants Moxley to give it some thought, talk to your lovely wife, your mom, and the InnerCircle will be waiting for his answer. The champ continues, and they can take over AEW if Moxley wants that. Jericho just takes the shirt and just slowly puts it on the shoulder of Jon Moxley. They back away. Moxley looks to be considering, but didn't give away much either way. This is a smart move on Jericho's end because, yes, Jon Moxley is the most dangerous threat to his championship right now. If Jon Moxley was to join the InnerCircle, then that would mean that the most dangerous threat would be gone. He wouldn't be going up against Chris Jericho for the world title. Now, they did announce later in the show when they're going to be going to the next pay-per-view, what it's called. It's called Revolution. It'll be in Chicago plus doing C2E2, which, one, I don't think Chicago needs 2 pay-per-views. I don't care if it's C2E2 or not. I would rather them do the New York Comic Con if they're going to do that. I would rather them give another state and another town a pay-per-view. Why does Chicago need both? And I'm hoping this is only a one-time thing. I don't want to see Double or Nothing be in Chicago, which of course it's apparently going to be every single week, every single year. And then we go the next 2 pay-per-views later, we're going to Chicago again. I think that's kind of ridiculous. There's also another thing that we'll talk about later, which makes no sense to me. We get a vignette of what's led us to the Texas Street Fight. Will be happening later on in the night. Winner of this match will face the AEW World Tag Team Champions SCU on next week's episode. QT Marshall and Cody versus the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny. MJF with a picture-in-picture as Cody and QT make their way to the ring. MJF wishes Cody all the best of luck tonight in his usual sarcastic nature. This was a pretty decent match right here. QT Marshall got a lot of good, they made QT Marshall look good in this match. as somebody who was, it wasn't, QT Marshall wasn't made to look like a bum. He fought back towards the end after Cody was dropped on his face. Blade hits a stunner, lariat by Butcher, a suplex, lumbar combo, which I don't remember what Excalibur called it. I don't remember what he called it, but yes, 1, 2, 3. The Butcher and the Blade are your winners. They are slowly backing up off the ramp. Cody is sitting on the outside, just dejected. He has nobody to help him. QT Marshall wasn't going to get the job done. I don't think anybody expected QT Marshall to be the one to get the job done. But all of a sudden, Darby Allin, good old Darby Allin walks out past the Butcher and the Blade, shoulder bumps one, I think it was the Butcher, walks over, puts his hands out for Cody, pulls him up, nods to the floor, nods to Cody, and walks off. So it looks like Cody has found somebody to watch his back. Will it be an interesting dynamic? Yes, it will be. I could see this being, maybe Cody goes for, maybe this is something that could lead to these two being like eventually tag team champions. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting what they do with Cody and Darby Allin, since they do have that mutual respect of each other because of the time limit withdrawal that they had back at Fight the Fest, was it? Fight for the Fallen. It was Fight for the Fallen, right? No, Fighter Fest. That's right, Fighter Fest. So it'll be great to see what happens between these two. Only time will tell. MJF heads to the ring, and I cannot do any justice to this. He brings a cameraman in. The cameraman assistant in the ring and says he noticed he was laughing last week when Cody made fun of MJF's my crossroads, he says. Tells the guy all he has to do is kiss the AEW diamond ring, which he does after, a little bit of consideration. MJF then gives him a crossroads and tells him the crowd he thought that looked pretty damn good. He said something about Cody. He said I think he said Rhodes Man or something. I don't know about you, but that looked pretty damn good. Calls the crowd white trash hicks. MJF says he heard Cody's business proposal and doesn't want Cody's crap or his money. I've got enough money to last me a lifetime. Cody, I just want you to suffer instead. He brings up calling him a knockoff because I wear a scarf. Cody called the scarf fake, but MJF says Cody embodies fake with his hair, which looks like a cat pissed on it, the beaver teeth that I can land a helicopter on. Then he makes fun of Cody's lisp. And this was fantastic because, one, you're not supposed to talk about it. That is like a no-no. Crowd is not happy about this. Anybody remember back in 2015 a line that Vince McMahon made scripted Roman Reigns to say? With the words, stuffing succotash. MJF, that back then, that was absolutely horrendous. It sounded horrible. It sounded so generic and phony. MJF comes out and just the stuffing succotash. I'm sorry, it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. He made it actually work. He's like, oh sorry, did I offend you? MJF knows Cody won't fire him because he definitely couldn't get his hands on him then. Says he'll wrestle Cody, but he says, you guys want it? You wanted Cody? Guess what? You're on. But I have some stipulations. But I'm not going to announce those stipulations to these hicks here in Texas. I'm going to announce it in Jacksonville, January 1st, 2020. We will know. This is going to lead to the pay-per-view that's going to be happening a month later in February at C2E2. It'll be AEW Evolution. I don't know what these are going to be, but this makes sense. Alex Reynolds is sitting in his hotel room with the TV on and is the Dark Order spokesperson who's talking about the hotel amenities. He then says, aren't you tired of being a jobber, Alex? And then he taps on the TV and gets Reynolds' attention. He says the Dark Order has been watching him and John Silver lose a lot, and it's time to join the group. Rank the numbers. The spokeswoman goes back to talking to the hotel. Silvers walks in, asking what's up. Reynolds says he isn't really sure. Still on the fence with this whole entire Dark Order thing. I don't know whether it's good or bad. I want to see a little bit further how it goes, because now you're having Alex Reynolds, who just got beat, was it not? Yeah, just got beat at the beginning of the show. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this, how far this goes. Will they make Alex Reynolds a member of the Dark Order, which makes him a heel, and he goes on to have a better career, because right now he's nothing but a jobber to the stars, as he should be. Big Swole versus Emi Sakura. This match was terrible. I don't know what to tell you, but Emi Sakura is awful. She isn't good. Her in-ring work is absolutely terrible. Big Swole is not ready for TNT. She should still be on AEW Dark if they're going to use her. She's got a long way to go. But these two just gave you this match was not good. Last week we had Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. That was fantastic. Chris Statlander is going to be a star. I can understand why next week she's going to be in a number one contenders match against Britt Baker, even though I don't like the way that match has been booked. Why that match has been booked? Because it doesn't make sense that the 4th and 5th ranked women on the brand are going to be going up one-on-one next week, with the winner getting a title shot, when one, Chris Statlander has only had like 2 singles matches, only winning 1, and 2, neither one of them deserve a title shot yet. But Big Swole wins this one with a ripcord forearm for the 1-2-3. Again, not a big fan of this match. Big Swole's nowhere near where she needs to be, and Emi Sakura, which needs to drop the Freddie Mercury gimmick, it's not working. It's something she might have done in Japan, but it's not working over here. Which, by the way, number 1 and number 3 in the last 2 weeks in the rankings for the women have got defeated. Chris Statlander beat Cheetah last week, and Big Swole beat Emi Sakura this week. I still don't understand why Emi Sakura went from not like when they debuted the rankings, she was number 1 contender for whatever reason, only having 2 matches, to 3, and not moving from 3 until now. What has this? She was 1-1 going into this match for singles matches, 3-3. I think it was like 3-3 overall. Why she was in this position is beyond me. Backstage, Den Decker talks with Pac. He wonders what message Pac is trying to send Kenny Omega, and he says he's come to the company for one reason: opportunity. Yet since I've come to this place, it's only suffered injustice. Right, putting on dominating performances. This is the final warning to AEW and Kenny Omega. I want my rubber match. Again, if you don't give it to me, then I won't be held accountable for what I do next. Would not be mad about that. I would love for them to just maybe deny that request, just to see how far this goes for him. How far this goes to have him be just so incensed what he does next, what he does to get that rubber match. I don't think we need to just stop and say, boom, we're going to give it to him. I think he has to go out there and go off that deep end to get that rubber match. And honestly, that should not be another singles match. You've had 2 singles matches between these two. The next one needs to be like a last man standing match, Falls Count Anywhere match, not a lights out match, please. We've already seen enough of those for a while. Like a submission match, a 2 out of 3 falls match, something other than another singles match. Then we go into Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford and Shawn Spears. Spears looks behind him, heading to the ring, but no Tully Blanchard is found. Somewhere backstage, Blanchard cut a promo, though. He talked about putting together a great tag team. It says Spears is going to test Sabian, see if they could become the best tag team in the world. Page and Omega start strong against Sabian, and these guys off to have themselves an interesting match. Somewhere in between this, Joey Janela. Spears is looking for the tag, but the lights go out. On the stage is Tully Blanchard tied up in a chair with Joey Janela's shades on. Joey Janela appears from behind, laughing behind him. Spears runs at the stage and fights with Janela, which should be a disqualification, but this is AEW and that doesn't seem to be a thing. Still waiting to get our first disqualification or count out, win or loss by DQ or count out. I think that needs to happen soon. Because right now, it seems like no DQ, like DQs and DQs and countouts don't seem to matter. Give me a match, I don't care who it is, that ends by disqualification or ends by countout. So you establish that those things matter. You had Joey Janela fighting with Shawn Spears. That's an automatic disqualification. Sabian and Spears wins. Where is the continuity? Come on. Now Sabian's on his own, and Omega with a Snapdragon suplex, Omega with a big V trigger, Paige Black tags in, Buckshot with 1, 2, 3. They are, and Omega and Paige are your winners. They shake hands and they celebrate a bit. Then we cut to Brandy Rhodes. I don't get this. This is like the most phoniest thing on here, and you have the Dark Order. She asked what the women's division would look like without her. She'd wonder if the AEW Women's Champion Riho had gotten so small that she can't even see her now, wondering why she hasn't defended her title recently. Brandy rips on Britt Baker, says she is a pathetic groupie with how much she mentions her boyfriend every chance she gets. She says, not to be a hypocrite because I do mention my husband a lot as well, but I've been married to him for about 7 years. You're just a groupie, pathetic groupie. Tells Chris Statlander the offer is still on the table to join the group as Melina Cruz enters the scene, now with a shaved head. Brandy looks to have added a new man to the Nightmare Collective, but his back is turned to the camera, and she says, not yet. I don't know. I don't want to know. This whole thing just is sleep-inducing insomnia. No, thank you. Then we have the Champions music hit again. Out comes Jake Hager and Chris Jericho joining a commentary booth. They kick Tony Schiavone and Excalibur out. He mentions how, Excalibur mentioned he didn't know what lexicon meant last week, and Schiavone has been riding been riding on him for like 25 years. We've only come out here to talk to the only guy who matters, Jim Ross. So we get Sammy Guevara versus Luchasaurus. This is, of course, Luchasaurus getting some time in because next week it will be your boy, Jungle Boy, in a singles match. So we have ourselves a good match, a nice little short match here. Sammy Guevara heads to the top rope, moonsault, but no. Standing moonsault, no. Tries again and gets caught on the throat. Luchasaurus plants Guevara face first, covers him in 1, 2, 3. Post match, Jericho and Hager run to the ring and start brawling with Jurassic Express. Jericho and Jungle Boy pair off and battle in the ring. Jericho thinks he's tossed Jungle Boy out in the ring. He comes back in, hits a snap Hurricane Rana. Marco Stunt slides in with a 1, 2, 3, a fake count. Jericho's not happy though about what just happened. Then we have our main event, the Young Bucks versus Pride and Powerful, #1 contender street fight for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The winners will face Kaz and Scorpio Sky next week. This match was brutal. This match was everything you expected out of a street fight between these 4 guys. These 4 guys went out there and did what they could to get at each other and show you that the AEW World Tag Team titles mean that much to them. They want to be your next tag team champions. They want to be the next tag. They want to be the ones take down Kaz and Scorpio Sky. So hell of a match here. I just can't do this match justice. There's just so much going through here. Nick with a super kick, mouse driver to Ortiz on a chair. 1, 2, 3. And the Young Bucks are your winners. After the match, SCU gets in the ring. They hold the titles. They face off to Matt and Nick. And Matt and Nick are going to be your champions. I would not want to... I don't predict that Matt and Nick are going to win next week. I think that would be too early. I think SCU should keep the titles till at least February when they have their next pay-per-view. I could be wrong. Maybe I wouldn't be against it. But AEW is firing on all cylinders. Next week is going to be one heck of a show with the tag team titles on the line. Jungle Boy versus Chris Jericho, non-title match. #1 contendership match between Chris Statlander and Britt Baker. Again, I would love to know why the fifth ranked woman in the company is taking on the 3rd ranked woman in the company. Or the 4th ranked woman in the company. And oh, by the way, The fifth ranked woman has only had 1 or 2 singles matches and only has 1 win.